What up, y'all? Welcome back to AttaGirl.
Hello, hello.
How was your weekend, Cam?
Eventful.
Oh gosh, wait, let's hear about it.
Well, it wasn't. I went out. I had a girls' night.
I got a FaceTime call from you Saturday night, and I freaking loved it because I was at the lake for a retreat, and I was literally about to crawl into bed, and I get a FaceTime from Cam. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. So Zydeco in Birmingham had this rock music night.
See, and when I first saw you dressed, I wondered if the Velcro Pygmies were there because they had mentioned something about being in Birmingham sometime soon. So I was like, oh my gosh.
No, it was this guy. It was basically just a DJ who played rock music instead of their normal rap in a bar.
Wait.
If you know me, this is up my alley. This
That's
was
actually sick.
Yeah, this is my kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because they were playing Creed, Nickelback.
Your dad would have been in heaven.
And that's the kind of stuff I grew up on. That's what I listened to anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was so fun. So we did that. I am jamming. We are, and by the end of the night, I had a little too much to drink.
I wouldn't say, I don't know by the end of the night. I just know when you called me, you were feeling good. You were happy. It was sweet,
Yeah.
though.
It was fun.
We were hyped about the podcast.
Yeah, we were.
We were like, hell
I was telling the girls in the bathroom, I was hyping them up. I was like, you've got to listen to the podcast. This is what this is about.
Yeah, AttaGirl.
Anyway, it was fun. No regrets, kind of, but it was fun.
It was a fun time. That's all that matters.
So, yeah, Saturday, I kind of just chilled. Sunday, I cleaned a little bit. And
nice.
Here we are today.
Here we are. So I spent my weekend at Smith Lake.
Doing a lot more productive things than I was doing.
Hey, listen, most of my weekends kind of look like yours. Yeah, kind of. So it was really, really good for me. Also, if I'm yelling into my mic, my ears are so stuffed, and I keep trying to pop them, and nothing is working.
Well.
So I can't hear. So if I'm screaming today, I apologize.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
So the owners of Rock the South, Shane and Laura Quick, they have a house on Smith Lake, and they invited some of us influencers out there just to meet, kind of have a retreat, get to know one another.
It's all of y'all that's working with them, right?
Yeah. And I honestly had no idea what to expect. I'm not going to lie, I had some social anxiety going into it.
Sure, yeah.
Going...
It's random people you don't know.
And it's a group of girls, and this sounds insane. Like, I know what I'm about to say sounds insane. Maybe it makes me sound like a hoe. I don't know. I'm way more comfortable in a room full of guys than a room full of girls.
It's more casual.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're in a room full of girls, sometimes you kind of want to have to
one up or something, or
like impress in a weird, strange way.
It's weird. I don't get it. I don't know why I felt that way. And they're sweet girls, so especially don't know why I felt that way. But I was a little nervous. We get there on Friday night, and they had a chef cook us dinner.
Nice.
We had
What'd you eat?
Pasta.
I'm a food girl.
It was amazing. And then the charcuterie board, he explained each and every cheese, where it was from, the funkiness of it. And I was like,
yummy.
Whoa, I don't know if I want to hear that it's funky for you. No, I'm just kidding. It was so good. And actually, he's going to be on Chopped between August and February. So I was like,
I've tasted his food.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I can promise you he's a great chef. So that was cool. Then we made some cocktails, mojitos, with this Campesino rum. I'd never heard of it. Mm-mm. Their son works for them, and oh my goodness, it was delicious. So refreshing, and I can't wait to make it. We got to keep our little kit to make all of it, and they gave us a bottle of rum. It was super awesome. And then we changed into comfy clothes, and that's when everything got a little more serious. And another thing I want to share, they gave us these bracelets, and it says immeasurably more.
Oh, I love that.
And part of it is just because all of us being on social media, a lot of times we focus on numbers, and
sure.
We are a number. We are a quote-unquote influencer or whatever you want to say. And this weekend was just a reminder that you're immeasurably more. You're so much more than that. And I think that really just resonated with me. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about a lot of things we talked about. And so I think that's why I was like, hey, can we talk about it on Monday? Because, oh my gosh, there's just so much to unpack about all of it. And I even brought, and I won't be able to do it justice compared to what Laura did for us. Oh my gosh. I mean, she is meant, that is her calling, is to bring out everything in people and be she is, talk about AttaGirl. She is one of the most encouraging, confident, sweet, beautiful, one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. So to start off, we put up all these feelings around the room.
Right.
And she said, okay, or emotions, I guess. Go stand by the emotion that describes your last year.
Oh.
And so there was happy, anxious, overwhelmed, sad, thankful, or something else. So what would you say yours was from last year?
Last year, like 23?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Actually, if I think about how I ended the year, I would have probably went with happy or thankful.
Yeah.
The year itself, if I had to sum it all in one, maybe anxious or sad.
Yeah.
Because it was started and throughout was not good, but the way it ended was great.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have went either way, really.
Way.
Yeah.
So I started thinking back to everything. What we did is after we went to that emotion, we explained why we felt the way we felt. We went back and she gave us these little workbooks and we had to write gratitudes, spiritually, partner, spouse. I said, beyond thankful to be single and grown alone.
Nice.
I was like, partner, spouse. What about singleness? Can we say /singleness? But friendships, work, business, adventures, travels, physical health, music, books, and notable moments.
Nice.
And so the whole idea behind it was sometimes we do have these fears, this anxiousness, overwhelmed feelings. But when you go through and you actually write down everything you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Even friendships. Like even that in itself, I was like the line dancing girls, my teammates, rhythm staff, Julia Sydney Weldon, and then my cousin Cameron. Yeah. I was like all looking back at all of that or all of the brand deals, opportunities, us starting this podcast and it coming real. Spiritually, I've been at a good place. One thing I did say, I wake up and I pray and I do my devotional. I pray at night.
Yeah.
I'm like, what about Jesus throughout the day?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, Jesus, I don't actually ever talk to you, not once throughout my day. I'm like,
it's nowhere but up, babe.
Yeah, but I was like, spiritually, I mean, I made it more of a priority, but I guess not. And yeah, so when you go through and you sit, and Notable Moments rocked the South last year with my family. That was
so good.
Freaking amazing. And when you sit down and you actually look at things that you have in your life that you're grateful for, it pushes out all those other emotions.
Definitely. Yeah.
And she was saying people will call her to vent and be sad on the phone. And she's like, okay, before we finish this conversation, I need you to hang up. I need you to write 5 to 10 things you're grateful for and then call me back. And it's a harsh truth.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that like you don't want to hear in the moment when you're venting. It's like, oh my God.
Right.
But then if you actually take the time to do it, I'm sure you're appreciative.
And one thing I've only felt this way about anxiety. I haven't felt this way about other emotions, but it applies to all. When people I know who are quote unquote anxious and they find their identity in anxiety, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are not anxiety. You might have it at times, but that's not your whole personality. And that's what we talked about. Like feelings are feelings.
Yeah.
Feel them.
Yeah. And then they come and go also.
And it's not your identity.
Right.
So when she was saying that, she didn't mean like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you, but like, let's make sure our identity is not in this feeling that we're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's temporary. And it's because of something going on in your life making you feel this way. So feel it and then move on. And we had to talk about our most uncomfortable feeling. Like, what are you most uncomfortable feeling? And for me, it's sadness.
Yeah.
What would you say yours is?
Anxiety. Because I like physically feel
it. And that's what
it's bad.
And she asked, where do you feel it?
My chest, big time. Yeah. Like 10-pound weight, all just heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. And actually, like, what do you feel when you feel these things? And for me, mine was sadness just because, I mean, to be honest, I am pretty happy. I kind of opened up and explained my senior year of high school, how that was probably the darkest, toughest time. And then I would say junior and senior year when I was in a relationship that mentally I was just not okay. And that was like my saddest, darkest times. But other than that, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
And so being sad, I'm like, I don't want anyone to see that I'm sad.
Yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
it's really hard for me, and it's easy for people to tell when I'm sad because I'm always smiling and happy. And so if I'm not, people are like, what's wrong? And I'm like, can you just give me a moment? Like, can I just have a day, please?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to always be on. But you feel like you have to always be on.
Yeah, when you're that person for people.
Yeah, and especially social media, that doesn't help either when people are always like, you're smiling, you're happy, you're optimistic. How are you always this happy? And I am. Like, I'm not going to deny that, but
yeah, you have days.
Yes.
Everybody does and should.
Yes. So that was kind of the thing for me. And then we sat down and just talked through our gratitude and if it made us change how we originally felt about everything. And then one thing I haven't done since 2024 started, and I wish I had, but I'm glad I got to now, I want more and I want less. So basically,
I haven't done that
outs.
either. Yeah, I haven't done it either. I was kind of thinking about it, but
it's hard, actually.
Yeah, it actually is.
When I sat down, I was like, well, I don't know if there's really anything I want more of because I am very grateful for so much.
Yeah.
The I want less actually was so much easier because it's like, okay, well, what are all the things that pulled me back last year that I don't? And that was great. And then, that was cool. We'll get into that. But she talked about standards, principles, and values and the difference. And I liked listening to that. The one thing that hit hard, and I think part of it is a lot of the things we've been going through lately and talking about with relationships and friendships, is a standard. And I'm always thinking like, oh, I lower my standards.
Yeah.
Oh, my standards, I got to make my standards higher.
Yeah.
A standard is the floor. It's the bare minimum. Like a standard, like my mom has teaching standards.
Sure.
You have to teach to this, and that is the bare minimum. And as a teacher, she wants to go above and beyond. And I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, no.
My standards have not been the bare minimum.
No. My standards have never even been met. So can we talk about how, like...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we took an elevator to the basement.
Yeah.
Like, we have been in the basement.
Yeah. We've been underground.
Way. We've been in a bunker underground.
Literally.
And it's been locked.
Yeah.
We needed someone to come get a key and let
sunlight.
us out. No. No cell service.
Nothing.
No food, no water.
No laughter.
I mean, we've been shriveled up down there.
We looked like that girl on SpongeBob. It's like, chocolate.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
So, and it's so funny how you can have this whole weekend full of all this amazing stuff and like some things just stick out.
Yeah.
And that made me like want to cry. Like, standards are the bare minimum. They're the floor. So when we went over that list.
That hurts.
And so basically our standards for men, like they have to meet that. But
and
then
I think my standards are bare minimum anyway, and they have, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we talked about that.
Yeah.
And it was what?
Be
nice.
Be a good person. Please don't cheat on me.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't emotionally abuse me.
Yeah, please. I'm begging.
Yeah. Don't make me have to go to therapy again for a relationship. Don't give me anxiety. I didn't even know what anxiety was. I just kept crying and feeling that heavy weight on my chest. And I'm like, oh, it goes away eventually. It's just right now, I just feel like I can't move. I'm just going to sit here and cry. And
can't
eventually,
breathe.
Yeah. Eventually it'll go away. And I went to my therapist and I explained this to her and she goes, welcome to anxiety. I was like, what? No, I don't have anxiety. I know plenty of people that do. I don't. And she's like, nope, that is anxiety.
Yeah.
So the bare minimum. And so then I'm just like, oh my gosh. So like if I meet a guy and he doesn't meet my standards, gone. Because a guy should not only meet your standards, but go above and beyond.
That is so wild to think about.
I just am like, or even friends.
Yeah.
Like all relationships, like you. And so another thing is when we talked about standards, which I haven't finished this part of it because I'm supposed to write all this stuff down. Like a prayer over yourself and then a new personal boundary you are committed to maintaining. And I was thinking to myself, well, a boundary for me should be if you do not meet the standard, you're out. You're done.
I need that same boundary because like we've already talked about, I just accept people at face value and fit my life around theirs.
Yes.
Why?
And so we talked about that.
Yeah.
And we even talked about if you tried something for somebody and they hurt you or it didn't go right or they didn't, that's on them. They're not a person for you in your life.
Yeah.
And we even talked about the whole, just because he's a good guy, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
And if someone makes you feel like you're too much, that's on them. They're not the right people in your corner. They're not the right people in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still love on them and love them as a person because that's what we're called to do as Christians. But like, you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them.
Yeah.
And it was just so, dadgummit, what have I been doing?
No, I know. I feel the same way.
And there was a day, I think it was right after our Valentine's Day episode, which, by the way, that did not go over well with everybody that listened to it. So that was fun.
Well, I wouldn't know because I don't think anyone that
Frick a brick.
I talk about listens.
Well, shit. I'm trying to find this. It was literally, okay, wait, Valentine's Day was when? The 14th? Duh. Okay. Oh, it was the day before. These have been hitting hard. I'm not going to lie because of everything. Oh, and this one. This was the 16th. This one applies a little more. So for me, I talked to my mom about this a lot last night, is I think the reason my standard has been what it's been is because it's easier.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds stupid. Well, getting hurt and being treated like shit is easy. No, that's
not that part, but
no.
like
being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And if someone who doesn't have a whole lot going for them and it's, like you're kind of half-assing it because it's like, well, it's not worth it to really invest that much in this person.
Yeah.
Then if it doesn't go well, what did you really lose?
Well, I do that same thing, I think, because I have, certain personal things that I am terrified to, like, find someone and, like, share all of that stuff and, like, be accepted for that stuff. And so it's kind of easier to date someone who you know is not going to be your husband.
Yeah. No, trust me.
Which is bad. But, like,
that is that's how I've been navigating life.
Yeah, me too. It is easier, so it's like, well, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm not going to marry them and be with them for the rest of my life anyway, so.
And even if you were, like, for me, even if I were to be vulnerable with someone who isn't whatever, if they end up not liking me or cutting things off, I'm like, well, I really didn't lose a whole lot anyways.
Yeah.
And then if you've got a guy who's a total package, who's been pursuing you for 2 years, who's athletic and sweet and smart and driven
lovely,
and literally
and we love
perfect.
him.
And he's amazing and he's like perfect and it's scary. So scary because if you open up to him and I'm vulnerable and actually if I could dive into it like I did with the first guy I ever loved, because you dive in with no fear. You've never been hurt before.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you've been hurt now and you've got all these walls and it's like, well, what if I dive into this person who's amazing and they cut things off and people are always like, oh, well, it's his loss. Well, what if it's not this?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's so much easier to lose bad love.
Yes.
If you lose good love, it's like,
it hurts
so much worse.
It's embarrassing and it hurts. And it's like, well, he was a great one. So what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that completely.
So that's kind of been my mindset. And that's why I've been in such situationship after situationship.
Yeah.
My standard for one, I haven't looked at it as that is the bare minimum. And they have to meet all of those. And if they don't meet that, then they're out. And then it's also been, I've only been in relationships where it's like, oh, well, I mean, I can half-ass it because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Is it really going anywhere?
Yeah.
And they really don't have that much, that's not the way to say that. They aren't
bringing everything you want to the table.
And so it also keeps you able to have your options open because it's like, well, we're not seriously talking or dating. You haven't asked me to be your girlfriend. You haven't even taken me on a date, like whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have everything. And so I can kind of have one foot in, one foot out. And my other foot can be like just peeking around the corner at what else is out there.
Yeah.
But someone who is everything, I genuinely want to jump all in. I'm like, I don't want to look at anybody else. I don't want to be invested in anybody else.
Right.
And then putting all your eggs in one basket is scary.
Yeah.
But it's worth it for the right guy. Anyways, I'm just blabbering.
No, 100%. No, I agree completely with everything you're saying.
It's just everything just
I've been in this same exact mindset for like 4 years.
And I think it's just really and truly, after our Valentine's Day episode, that shifted everything for me.
Yeah.
And then reading this. So this was my devotional 2 days later. The new and living way. Believing we are made right with God through our faith in Jesus Christ is a new and living way, one that gives us freedom, boldness, and confidence. Trying to follow the law, doing everything right in order to earn acceptance, ministers death, every kind of misery to us. Grace and God's power coming to us free of charge to help us with ease, to help us do with ease what we could never accomplish on our own. Grace is freeing. It puts us, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I cannot make myself acceptable to all people, neither can you, but we can believe God will give us favor with the people he wants us to be involved with. Sometimes we try to have relationships with people God does not want us to even be associated with. Knowing who we are in Christ sets us free from the need to impress others. Those are things I ended up underlining. And then there was another one talking about, okay, don't spend one more day living a narrow life that only has room for you and your fears. Make a decision right now that you will learn to live boldly, aggressively, and confidently. Don't let fear rule you any longer. So it's just one of those things. Fear is always going to be there. It says you can't just sit around and wait for fear to go away.
Right.
And like my fear right now is that fear of letting go and trying something different with dating and relationships and people. And it's one of those things, it was just so much back to back to back.
I think that's why, like, the guy I talked about Valentine's episode, I think that's why I was so hurt, even though I only knew him for a short period of time. Like, we still, like, communicate and stuff. It's not like I was
bad blood,
you know, no, we're friendly or whatever. But, like, I think that's why it really hurt my feelings as much as it did, because it was the first guy that I went for that was, like, a good guy that I could see. A little
different.
Yeah. And so what you're saying, too, about jumping all in and stuff, like, I think I was ready to do that.
Yeah.
And then the door closed, and I was like, oh, no, I'm never doing that again.
Right.
No.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
And navigating it sucks.
But just because he was a good guy, someone I usually wouldn't go for, like, personality-wise, doesn't mean he was it. Like,
another thing, I think you and I can relate on this, too, with both the past two, or yours, mine. They were sweet.
Yes.
And when's the last time we actually talked to someone who's sweet to us?
Yeah.
Never.
Well, my high school boyfriend, maybe.
My high school boyfriend. Sweet, like a sweet boy. And
yeah.
I haven't been going for a sweet guy.
Me neither.
Because it's kind of a fun game. It's, you know, whatever. And it showed me genuinely, wait, I think I am ready to settle down for someone sweet.
Yeah. Me too.
I didn't think I was. And I've been so go, career driven.
I think it's because we're like, you're 24, right?
I'll be 24 in May.
Yeah. I'll be 25. Our frontal lobe is formed.
It really has. And okay, this might be crazy. I think this podcast has been therapy for me.
Okay, I kind of do too,
to
for
talk
sure.
through everything, and it's really made me realize a lot.
And it's too, like, I kind of want to come on here and be truthful and honest.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to just throw shit at people. So I don't want to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come on here and be like, yeah, my boyfriend sucks and he's mean to me. Don't be like me. I don't want to do that. So I don't want to tell people that I'm living that, so I don't.
Exactly.
Too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been really good to change our perspective on our situations.
Yes. Yeah.
To look at it, like, even though we were really frustrated that episode of what the heck is going on with us in dating? Why can't we figure it out? Oh my gosh, like, what we want, our standard truly is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And we've been accepting people who haven't hit the standard.
At all.
Like,
it's funny.
Here's the thing.
At all.
If you're a school teacher and you're not teaching to the standard, you're fired.
Yeah.
So these boys are fired. You lost your job with me.
Fired.
You are gone.
I had a history teacher.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was history. He would do that if you, like, it was like a funny thing. Like, he wasn't, like, mean, but, like, if you got a question wrong or, like, said something silly in class, it was, like, just such a wrong answer. He'd be like, fired.
You are fired. So this was make an F. Okay, I was like, wait, fired. That is funny.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like in any other aspect of your life, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do and hitting a standard, you're cut.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an NFL football player and you're not hitting the standard of catching passes or throwing pick after pick, like you're done. You're traded. You're gone.
Yep.
Like you're gone. See ya.
Literally.
Contract removed. If you lose more than you win, you're gone. You're fired.
Yep.
So why does it work everywhere else but in our lives?
Because we're nice, I think. And
I
it
know.
sucks. Like, I
Because you don't
genuinely,
want to
like,
be a bitch and you don't want people to be like...
And I genuinely am too compassionate for my own good. I truly am.
Yeah.
Because if someone comes at me and they mess up with me in one area, but then they come at me with like an explanation, like this is what happened to me back in my past, and this is why I kind of navigate things. I am such a put myself in their shoes person, and like I'm like, yep, I understand. Do it again.
See, but here's the thing.
It's not right.
No, but okay, so I'm that same way. I can understand where they're coming from. I'm so sad. But here's my thing. If you put yourself in their shoes, would you have treated you the same way?
No. Yeah. No, I get that too. That's what's hard. It's like I see both sides. I see how I see the better way to handle things, and
I understand where they're coming from, but I know I wouldn't have done that to somebody.
Yeah. Sucks.
And you got to find somebody. That's like those TikToks you see everywhere where it's like, would you let your daughter date him? No, then you shouldn't date him. If you wouldn't let your best friend date him, would you date him? Or if you wouldn't let your best friend, you shouldn't date him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I love making excuses for people.
I do too.
And when my friends and family tried to, no, I'm going to make an excuse for him.
Yep. I do the same thing. It's terrible. But I feel like I genuinely have moved past that recently.
Good.
Even like just this year.
Yeah.
After the podcast, after all of it.
See, I think I finally hit my final straw. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of there too.
It's so funny. After every guy, I'm like, I'm never dating again. I'm going to be single and enjoy this and actually grow and wait till the right person comes along. And then it's another situationship. And another situationship.
Well, the right person may have...
Listen, that's another thing is sometimes... Like, okay, also, you know how people talk about right person, wrong time?
Yeah, it's
I
so
believe
true.
in it.
No, it's true. And
I used to not believe in it, but I believe in it wholeheartedly.
Oh, I do too, completely.
Because I just do. I do. I really think it's a thing. And I don't know why I'm so blind. My vision is perfect. But I think I've been wearing readers I don't need.
Yeah.
They've been
I tried to change
thick.
a prescription.
They've been this thick. I just needed to take them off.
I tried to do an eye exam. I tried.
Mom, talking about somebody's trying. My mother, every other guy I've ever like talked to, she's been like, poor so and so.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, don't you dare say that again. No, he's just poor so and so. And I'm like, okay. And it's one of those things like, who knows what's gonna come from it, but
sure.
like,
yeah, we're being silly, but
yeah, but it's a step in the right direction for me, considering like when we went over all of our standards of what we want, that is the bare minimum. And if someone exceeds all of those, like sends you pictures of their devotional every morning, that's exceeding a standard.
Lovely.
That's really sweet.
It's really good.
Especially when you tell them things going on in your life that you're struggling with, and the devotional that they have matches your life perfectly and they send it to you. That's exceeding the standard.
It's almost like fate.
You know, my mom was... You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
My mom was talking about the movie Redeeming Love. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I know.
Shut up.
I know. I always told myself I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie. And
You
I
haven't read the book?
No, I haven't gotten around to the
You
book.
of all people.
I know. I know.
And you know I don't read a whole lot. That book I could read 10 times over again.
Everyone tells me that. Who's read it? Beth, that's one of her favorite books. I just haven't done it. Fine, I'll do it today.
I'm not kidding. And
I'll
you
start it
have
today.
to watch the movie because you're not going to understand what I'm about to say about
It's fine.
Okay, well, my mom's like, because the gist of it is the story of Hosea, where he pursued the prostitute.
Yeah.
even though she wanted nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
He just kept praying about it, and a voice kept telling him to stick around, stick around, stick around. And I actually got told last night that, because I was like, thanks for sticking around when I've been pretty crappy. And he said, there's just been a voice that's told me to stick around. And my mom, I was like, Mom, remember when you said this is redeeming love? Quite literally is. Thank you, Jesus, actually. You are... God is good.
I don't like comparing you to the prostitute.
No, I know.
Just
That's fair. That's actually facts.
Just kidding.
I will
Without
admit,
that part.
I will admit, I am not quite the same in that category as her, okay? I've just been stupid. My standard.
Yeah. I think you've just been scared, and that's so normal.
Okay, yeah, I've been really scared.
You don't want to lose someone who's worth losing.
Yeah, that's scary.
Is that the right way to say that?
Yes. Yeah, like if something were to happen, I don't think I'd be able to say his loss.
No.
Like everyone would want to say it's his loss, and I'm like, well, it's not though.
He's lovely.
He's awesome. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I like being told, because then you can have that bad bitch energy. Like, yeah, you're right. It is his loss. You can listen to that angry music, that go on those hot girl walks where you're swaying your hips. But with this, it would just be like sad girl hours.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I get that though. I mean, you're both good people. It's not like one's better than the other. I don't want to say that.
No.
It would be both of your losses.
So
I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, so personal boundary I'm committed to maintaining is my standard. Like, before you can walk into the building of my school, the standard is up on the wall.
Yeah.
And if you read it and you don't think you fit that, like, I need you to exit. Yeah. And then if it's right, you can press the button and I will scan you in to the building.
I like it.
But there's double doors. The first, and then there's the standard. You read it. Okay, you think I can do that. You can click the button, I'll buzz you in. You can walk through the next doors. Then we'll go through each hallway together. But
I like it. Other than that,
if you're not getting through those doors. I'm not scanning you in.
I need to be better about that too. Oh my God, do I?
You do. You're worth.
I'm worth a lot. I'm lovely. I'm sweet. I'm genuine. Like,
you're smart.
Like, and when I like genuinely care about someone, like, I'll go above and beyond.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why I accept less than what I give.
I know. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Your standard should be what you give.
At least.
Yeah. And they should go above and beyond what you do.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can look me in the face and say some vile things to me. And I'm like, okay, where did that come from? Like, why did you say that? What's wrong with me?
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. No, it's okay that you just cussed me out, but like, why? What made you feel like you needed to cuss me out?
Yeah, what did I do?
You had a bad day. It's okay. I'll be your punching bag.
About it. Let's talk about it. I'm so that person though, and it's stupid. But
see,
like,
I used to be.
But I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I don't hate that about myself. I really don't. I think that I should set more boundaries and not take what I usually take and not put up with all that crap.
No,
but
because it's also those things. This is another thing that I've had to really learn, and I think it's part of the reason I was able to break up with the person I dated for 2.5 years. That was so difficult. Sometimes you have to look at how they treat you more than you look at how you feel for someone.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you might have, because honestly too, like physical attraction and like all of that, you can have this amazing connection with someone just because it's like, man, they're hot, man, that attraction is there. There's a lot of qualities they have that make them attractive, but how do they treat me?
Yeah,
because that matters. You can be blinded by all these other things and then be like a really crappy person, crappy to you. So it's the combo of all of that. And genuinely, how many people are in this world?
So many.
So many.
Yeah.
And for us to put up with people who just don't even treat you kindly is ridiculous for us to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's my boundary. I'm committed to maintaining is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to accept less than what I give and deserve.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, to all my AttaGirls and AttaDudes out there, I really encourage you to look at what your standards are, genuinely, and know that is the floor. And that's all aspects of your life. That's friendships, relationships, whatever. and create boundaries for how people treat you or to help you succeed. Sometimes you just surround yourself with people who are energy drainers. Maybe that's your boundary. Let me find people who are energy givers that are, uplifting me. And hopefully that's what we want to do on here too. We want to be words of encouragement for you. We want to help you shine your light and change your perspective and be better because, oh my goodness, I know this podcast is helping me be better just talking through everything. For our AttaGirl Spotlight, I personally wanted to do this just because I'm super proud of my mama. She doesn't talk about, so my mom's in teaching how many freaking years? I don't even know, maybe close to 30. She's been teaching, she's a 7th grade science teacher and she's been teaching forever, let me tell you. And she got a sticky note from her principal the other day and it said, Miss White, thank you so much for being a calming presence in our building. You are a true example of being a dedicated professional. Keep being a light. I would love to sit down and discuss what ideas you have for the next school year.
Oh.
And it's just one of those
things.
She deserves that. She does. And it's cute that she sent it to me because it meant a lot to her. And it just even reminded me of the little things you can do for people that like a little sticky note with words of encouragement.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. So love you, Mom. I'm super proud of you.
Love you, Aunt Chris.
You kick butt.
Totally.
So
and
cute.
You're a blast.
You are so fun, y'all.
And accepting and loving and just, I truly want you to know how much I also appreciate you.
Yeah, you're awesome. So, and I'm going to start writing little sticky notes and just leaving them places. I think that's kind of cute.
Me too. That's
or maybe
cute.
we can make cards or something with little like our Instagram things. We could do those and like give them out or something.
I like it.
I think that'd be cute. So, yeah, okay. A nice little therapy session this weekend. This retreat really just got me back on track spiritually, mentally, relationally, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, so I hope everyone has a fabulous week. Keep going after all those dreams and make a change. If you're not happy with something, make that change. Don't be afraid. Everything happens for a reason. It's scary changing.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
It's for the better because Lord have mercy knows. My mom told me this is the happiest she's seen me in a long time. So.
I kind of feel that way too about you. Definitely.
So make those changes.
Yeah.
Because I promise you'll be so happy you did.
It's always going to be worth it.
Yeah. But we love y'all.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.